do it.
All right, I've got Clay Lawrence here with Review Harvest, and he is a extraordinaire professional with getting reviews for home service businesses. We use him, and we used to use Nice Job, but they were a little pricey, and to be honest, like it was just kind of over our head how it worked. But we ran into Clay through another contact, and it's been working amazingly. So Clay agreed to sit down and just kind of talk about SEO reviews and just kind of shed some light on an area that I know most of us like we don't really like to think about, but this is an opportunity for us to learn so that we can know a little bit more. So, what's going on, Clay?
Oh, nothing much. Thanks for having me on. Stoked to be here. Hopefully, I can say something helpful for somebody.
I'm sure you will, man. So, we use you for doing reviews, and obviously, Google is kind of where we focus. Is
Mhm.
Google obviously where we all need to just keep 100% of our attention? Do you think the landscape has changed? Because I know back in the day, like we kind of split, we wanted reviews over here, we wanted reviews here, and we wanted reviews here. What are things like right
Mm.
now and going
Mm.
into 25?
Yeah, for sure. I'd say in terms of reviews and where you should focus your reviews, I can confidently say that Google reviews are going to give you the biggest bang for your buck. So, getting a review on Facebook might be nice. People might go to your Facebook page and read your reviews, but if you get a review on Google, you're going to have a lot more people seeing those reviews, and also those reviews are going to help you rank higher, obviously. So, the more reviews you have, the higher you will rank, and we can see, like, if you leave a review, you can see how many people have viewed your reviews. And so I've had a dummy account before where I just went and left reviews for local companies in my area just as like a local guide. And my reviews just in the past year have over 2 million views on them. And so like people are looking at these reviews and reading them. And so um I think on Google you get the biggest bang for your buck. If you are in like on the West Coast, I know Yelp is really prominent out there, and there are some areas where Yelp is pretty big. My biggest issue with Yelp is that it's really hard to get Yelp reviews to stick and pop up as a recommended review because it's actually against Yelp's terms and conditions to send the direct review link to your Yelp page. And so, really, what you need to do if you want a review to not pop up as a not recommended review, you have to get them to kind of type it in themselves and go find you. And then even then, if they leave a review that way, if Yelp only wants Yelp users leaving reviews. So if you've never used Yelp before and you just create an account today to leave Smart Scoops a review on Yelp, there's a good chance it's going to pop up as a not recommended review. So I encourage you to go through Yelp, see people that have reviews. It might say they have 32 reviews, but if you scroll down to the very bottom, it'll be like 168 not recommended reviews. And so with Facebook and Yelp being the way they are, I think Google is kind of the main bread and butter. That's where we focus all our attention on.
So that's interesting. I mean, I didn't expect us to get into like Yelp, but Yelp is something that I avoid. I mean, even like Home
Yeah,
Advisor and okay, so
yeah,
Angie's List, these are avenues that are pretty predatory as far as I express a little bit of interest and then all of a sudden it's just like an avalanche of communication.
yeah,
So I tend to steer away from Yelp. You recommend that obviously, right?
yeah. I don't like it.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't like Yelp. We just get people asking for Yelp reviews all the time.
For sure.
So
That's interesting about the West Coast. Why is it so prominent over there on the West?
something about California, man. A lot of people in California, especially my clients in California, Nevada, all this stuff, they're kind of the ones that ask for Yelp reviews the most. So
I
I
thought
don't know.
Yelp was mostly for like cuisine and hospitality, and then all of a sudden
I
I
I
think like
agree.
in 2019, 2020, I was like, why are people talking about Yelp so much for businesses? Um,
Yeah,
that's interesting. So,
yeah.
okay, well, going back to Google then, so obviously since people are focusing there, um, I assume that it's important that we need to make sure that we have everything filled out for our Google profiles. Now, it used to be Google My Business, but now what is it?
Google Business Profile.
Okay, do you know why they made that change? Do you know anything about that?
I don't know why. All I know that is that it's confusing. Like it used to be Google My Business and it was like GMB, and
Yeah.
now it's like Google Business Profile, and now it's like GBP, and like most people don't know that they're the same thing or there's a difference or like they changed the name. But I don't know why they changed it, but I'm pretty sure they made the change when they switched over from how you manage it. Like you used to manage it kind of from the back end of a portal, and now you can just manage your whole Google Business profile, excuse me, just from like Chrome as long as you're logged in with your
Yeah,
Google account that
Google
manages
is
it.
it's pretty challenging to keep up with it, which makes it, this is the caveat, it makes it good and it makes it a little challenging for small business
Mm,
owners that, as far as like what are they ranking for? We have an idea of what they rank for, but my understanding is that
mm,
they're always changing it, how they're crawling and what they're searching for because back in the day, back in the early .com days, it was pretty obvious as to like how that they would crawl and how they would rank organically.
mm,
And then websites
mm,
and web developers, they would exploit those in such a way that kind of
mm,
was unfair. So if you knew the rules, then you could take advantage. But now my understanding is that, I don't know how frequently, maybe but the
mm.
landscape changes with Google. Is this correct?
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And there was a really big update last December of 2023. Basically, what they did with the Google Business Profile is they just made the location factor where you're located even more powerful, which doesn't affect us service area businesses too much. If you don't have a location, you don't have an address on it, and your competitors don't. But it changed a lot for a lot of brick and mortar places. It changed a lot.
Okay. Well, so for people that maybe are like, this is already got, kind of going over my head, let's catch them up. So Google is what are some like what are 2 to 3 different ways to look at Google as far as why people are even coming there to look for us?
Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, when it comes to Google, you're looking at very high intent searchers, right? Very high intent potential prospects, potential customers for you, right? These people are going to Google because they are looking to gather more information to make a purchasing decision. And so, people scroll Facebook to scroll Facebook, and Facebook and Instagram and those advertising channels have they have their place 100%. We can dive into that later, especially in areas like poop scooping, where a lot of times with poop scooping, you're battling against a lack of attention. So like you might rank number 1 on Google, but there might only be 50 people in your area typing in poop scooping, on Google for that whole month, right? And so that's when you kind of need to go to Facebook because that's where the attention is. But when it comes to Google, you're getting the people that are looking to make a purchasing decision. And so you're getting the people that have maybe just moved to the area and they have no idea who to work with. They don't have any friends that can recommend anything. You're looking at people who just had a bad experience with their previous company and they're looking for somebody that's more reputable, maybe has better reviews, and they can trust more. Or you're looking for people who just don't know anything about the service and want to know what their next step is. And so that's why I love Google focusing on it because you're getting kind of the highest quality leads most of the time.
I got you. Yeah. So the reviews are obviously really important. People are coming there to check out who you are, maybe get a little bit more information, and they just want to make
Mhm.
sure that they're dealing with a real company. So with newer companies that are coming in the poop scooping industry, it's a pretty what I like about it is that it has folks from all walks of life and all walks of experience in business. So
Mhm.
you have people that have already
Mhm.
had businesses and then they know how to get rolling quickly. And then you have folks who
Mhm.
are attracted to the industry because of the low barrier of entry. And these are folks
Mhm.
that have never had a business. And so they're just literally like,
Mhm.
this is 101 for them. And
Mhm.
they may not have a website. And so they're
Mhm.
using their Google business profile temporarily,
Mhm.
in our eyes, looking at them, but in their eyes, they're thinking like, this is all I need. So, how
Mhm.
would you direct someone just getting started who's thinking like, I don't need a website. All I need is like a Google business profile. How long can you sustain that?
Yeah, I mean, I really think it depends on your goals. If you're just trying to make an extra $1,000, $2,000 here a month, maybe you can just get away with the Google Business Profile. But if you're looking to really, really grow, then I think it makes sense to get a website off the jump. There's plenty of areas, plenty of places where you can get great websites. But when it comes to Google, people. Some people think of Google Business Profile as the end all be all, and some bad marketing companies will sell you as your Google Business Profile is the only thing that matters, and your website doesn't matter at all. And really, that's not the case because a lot of your ranking on your Google Business Profile is dependent on the website that's attached to your Google Business Profile. And so they work together. And so getting more reviews on your Google Business Profile is going to help that rank your Google Business Profile rank higher and your website rank higher organically. And getting citations and adding more content to your website is going to help your Google Business Profile rank higher. And so they work together.
So as far as the content working together and not having one be a substitute for the other, that's next level thinking. And that's not really where people are a lot of the times in the beginning. So that's a nice way to see them as, working collaborative, rather than competing
Mhm.
for your resources. Like I only have so much money to spend or time,
Yeah.
what should I do? Should I
Yeah.
spend it on the website or should I spend it on the marketing? Um, yeah. So I've heard often too that when you have reviews coming in, that you want to make sure that you have them go to your social media platforms, and that helps with your SEO. But how is that helping with my SEO? Because my understanding is that SEO is just for the website, right? Like, how does that work?
Yeah. Honestly, the effect that it has on your ranking of posting on social media is low. Over a long enough time horizon, if you are consistently posting, Google is understanding the fact that on this Facebook page, which you can attach your Facebook page to your Google Business Profile, so Google knows everything's connected, right? And on your Facebook page, you can have your name, address and phone number, email address and phone number, so you kind of have all those stuff working together, so Google's bots can understand that this is all the same entity. Um, Over a long time horizon, Google will understand, okay, this business has been active on Facebook for years. So, they're probably a pretty reputable business and they might give you a little bit of an edge, but it's not going to be the thing that's really going to pull the lever and you're just going to skyrocket up the ranking like posting on social media. Really, posting those reviews on social media is just to show those people that do follow you that, hey, we do a good job, whether they're working with you or not. Yet, just say, hey, whenever you are in the business of getting, working with somebody like us, here's what our customers have to say.
So is social proof really just content, social proof to put on your social media, and that's a healthy
Yeah.
way of looking at it, and I can accept that as a business owner. Like I can only make so many posts in a day, in a week. Do I really
Mm,
need to do these
mm.
things? These things that you're not seeing an immediate return on your investment. Like if I spend $20 a day on Facebook versus if I spend 10 minutes doing this thing in Canva of a review, and oh my God,
Yeah.
am I going to get a return on this? Like, no, maybe
Yeah.
not tomorrow, but this is filler that looks like you're
Yeah.
investing into your business, because only
Yeah.
full-fledged businesses do this kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But you're
Mhm.
getting more impact on obviously having the reviews themselves. Let me ask you a question.
Mhm.
I've heard the term map pack get thrown around. I'm not even understanding
Yeah.
like what that is, and I wanted to ask you about that.
Yeah, for sure. Do you mind if I share my screen real quick? I've got something
Yeah,
pulled
sure.
up
Can you
for it.
share it?
Yeah, I think so. All right, cool. Can y'all see my screen?
Yeah, that's perfect, man.
All right, so you can see I just did a simple search here. Houston plumbers, right? So I think when you're talking about SEO, it makes a lot of sense to understand the actual landscape of the first page of Google. So you can understand when people are talking about certain things, you can get ideas of what's going on. And so this is a little extension I have that kind of estimates what people are paying per click. And so let's say someone types in Houston plumbers or replace it with your service area and your service. Up here, this is the Google guaranteed ads. So these people are paying, they had to go through a process of getting verified by Google. And these people are probably paying anywhere from 30, 40, $50 a call, maybe even more. And so that's the Google guarantee. That's up at the top, that green check mark. And then we have pay-per-click ads. So these are more sponsored ads by Google. These people are paying about 22, $23 per click for them somebody to click on their site. And then right here, we have the holy grail. This is where you want to be as a business owner. This is what's called the Google Map Pack. And what it is, it's the top three Google business profiles ranking in the area. And you can see here, these businesses have thousands of reviews. Obviously, Houston's a big city, so we got lots of
Yeah,
competition
lots
here.
of
But
competition.
um, but you can see here, this is Google's not going to ever release data on this, but there's a certain percentage of people that when they type something in on Google, they immediately scroll past the ads. I know I'm one of those. You might be one of them,
No, I
whatever.
am too. Yeah,
But
absolutely.
there's as you might be at there's estimations about 40 to 50% of the clicks and the calls come from this local map pack of of this Google business profiles. And you don't have to pay for the website click, you don't have to pay for the call, you don't have to pay for anything here. So these people here are paying thousands of dollars a month to get traffic to their site or get calls, and you can just sit up here and it's free. And so it's organic, and it's a long-term strategy that can really help you grow faster or grow more efficiently than all these other companies. And so and then right here, this is just your first organic ranking. So this is just your first website that's ranking organically here. And so this is where you want to be. And when it comes to what contributes to you ranking here, it's three things. Google wants to know that you're good at what you do, so authority. And so that's going to come down to reviews, backlinks, and citations. And we can talk more about that later. Google needs to know what you do. So they need to know that you're a plumber. So that's making sure your main business category is here. You have plumbing in the name of your business, etc. And then Google needs to know where you do it. And so that's pretty simple. It's just making sure that you have that on your website. So Houston plumbers, Houston poop scooping, etc. And then you have that listed on your Google business profile as well. So that I think that helps people understand kind of what you're going for, what the end goal of SEO is. It's to get into that map pack right there.
That was clean, man. That was really well done. So a couple of things came up there, and I want to ask you about when you search for your business to see how you're doing in your area. I have made the mistake myself of being like the most awesome poop scooping company near me. I am literally in my office. Okay, so what's the best way
Yeah.
to do that? That's objective.
Yeah, for sure. And it's not the answer that people like, but you need to invest in a third party tool to get a legit ranking. So I recommend Local Brand Manager. That's one of them, or Bright Local, or Bright or Local Falcon. Those three, basically, what you can do is you can type in your main keyword and figure out what people are typing in to find you, and then it's going to give you a grid where it's simulating a
Right.
search in each one of those areas, and it's going to say whether you're one, two, three, four, five, etc. And what you want to think is if you see one, two, three, that's going to be green and that's dollar signs. That is great. You are making money. If you're four, five, six, seven, that's good. That's opportunity. You are just a couple SEO moves from ranking very well. And then if you see like 15, 20, that's when you're like, okay, we got to put some work in because we're not even anywhere close. Because if you're not top three, you're not on that first page and people have to click more businesses to find you. And that's just not happening.
Yeah, I think with poop scooping, they're already surprised that there is what. So when I think about it, actually, no, I mean you want to be on the first page, but it'd be kind of funny to imagine that because it's so new, they're like, oh my gosh, like this is a real thing. How many companies are there? By the time they get to the third page, they're
Yeah.
like, all right, I got to find someone. This is fine, and then you click on somebody. That'd be funny if it worked for you in that way. But okay, so Local Falcon,
Yeah.
this is and the Bright Brand Manager, this is where they have the grid. And then I think I
Mm,
had someone take me through this. Don't you have to pay for like
mm.
credits in order to use this?
Yeah, you can like I think a lot of them have packages start at like 15 or $20 a month. And
Okay.
so it's one of the things maybe you pay for it for a month, track it for 30 days, cancel subscription, and then do work 3 months later, you pay for it again. But or if somebody wants to just DM me on Facebook and send me your keyword and your business name, I can run a report for you.
That's super smart, and that's a great way to provide value to people. Yeah, I like that.
Mm.
But that's a smart way to do it, though. You go ahead and do the subscription, and I think we did it like early in the going. We looked up some keywords, and we were like, "Yo, we suck," and then like we tried to
Yeah.
be, intentional about it. It forces you to really like, if anything, it humbles you if you're trying to do things yourself. And then now you have to go
Mm,
hire someone, a professional who understands these things better because we're scooping every
mm,
day. I have
mm.
kids, I have, responsibilities just beyond my business, and I don't have, more than 24 hours in a day. So I have to hire these people to
Mm.
help me out. Um, and so I've made the mistake of trying to hire people just to figure it out, and then I'll just go ahead and cut them out. And then
Yeah.
honestly, that never works because things change. In the digital marketing, the landscape is always changing. Um, so if you
Mm,
don't mind me asking about reviews specifically, kind of getting granular. Now, when we get a bad
mm.
review, what is the best way to handle a really crappy review? And let's say that let's do two examples. The first example is a review that you deserved. You did a boo-boo, but then
Yep.
the second one will be one that you did not even deserve. How would you respond to the first one? You made a mistake. What do we do?
Yeah, for sure. So when you're responding, you want to respond. And when you're responding, you want to think about potential customers, go into your Google Business profile, reading this review response. So if I'm looking for a poop scooper in the area, and a lot of people will go to your reviews and they're going to boom sort by lowest. So they're going to go check out your lowest reviews first. And so how you respond to that review will show this potential customer how you handle conflict. So if you make a boo boo and then all you do is yell back at them, call them stupid, just bash them, as a potential consumer, I'm like, I don't want to work with that company. Like, if something goes wrong, they're going to come after me, right? Now, switch that with what if you respond saying, hey, I'm so sorry. This was all our fault. Like, Alex Ramirez has a great video about this called the angry boat. Like, only one person can be in the angry boat. So, whatever, however angry they are, you need to be even angrier about it. And then they're like, oh, okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's not a big a deal. But when you respond and say, hey, I'm so sorry. This is ridiculous. We will do whatever we can do to make it right. And just, you want to respond like, that potential customer reading it thinks, oh, okay, well, if something goes wrong, well, I mean, it seems like they made it right for this person. It seems like they're doing what they're willing to do, whatever it takes to make it right. And so, if you do a legit boo boo, that's what I say. Just respond with kind of the potential customers in mind, and wait 24 hours before you respond. Just wait, because like in the first hour, the first 30 minutes, you're gonna be so mad. You're not, yeah,
Yeah.
you're not gonna have a good response. So just give it some time. Let it sit.
Now, what about a review? I know I had mentioned that if it wasn't your, but even a better one, and because this happens, is very specific.
Yeah,
A competitor who leaves a review that you've never done service for, that I wouldn't say
yep,
it's fraudulent, but it's fraudulent. How do you handle
yeah.
those kind of situations?
Yeah, for sure. So, a couple things. The only surefire, 100% chance way of removing a Google review is getting the person to actually left the Google review to remove it themselves. And so, what I know it sucks and people don't want to do it, but what I would do is I would pick up the phone and I would call that business and say, "Hey, let's work this out. Like, why'd you do this for me? Like, what can we get this taken away?" And you don't if they're blackmailing you for it, if they're blackmailing you for it and they're like saying whatever, then don't worry about it. We can go to the next step. But I would just genuinely talk to them and say, hey, I don't want to do this. I don't want us to go back and forth leaving negative reviews. I don't want to have this sort of relationship with you. And so that's what I would do first. I would try and get the person, if you know the person that left the review or you can get their contact information, I would reach out to them. Second thing you can do is obviously report the review. So you just click on the three dots next to the review, report it. You can report it as a conflict of interest in this example, basically just saying, hey, this person is trying to take down my business for no reason. And then there's a more in-depth form on Google. I have the link somewhere. I can send it to you after if you want to put it in the notes.
Yeah,
But there's a
absolutely.
more in-depth form where you can legitimately raise a case to Google and give them all the information they need to hopefully make a decision. It's kind of a time intensive process. Once again, it's still not 100%, but that's probably what I would do. I would go through the form. You're gonna provide proof. You're gonna provide, hey, this business is from this Gmail, and this Gmail account's connected here, and we didn't have never provided service to this person, and they're just trying to take my business down, whatever. And there's a chance
Do
that you
you
can get it
run the
taken down.
risk of getting the review to stick and being concrete if you respond to the review? Do you not recommend responding to the review at all?
Yeah, there's a lot of conflicting with the boo boo instance. Definitely respond to the
For
review,
sure.
especially after 24 hours. But yeah, with a review that is not legit, I would not respond to it until you've gone through all the other steps to try
Mm,
and get it removed.
that's good information.
There's conflicting information about whether responding to reviews makes it harder to remove it or not. But what I would do is I would just not respond to it until you've gone through all the other steps to to try and get it removed. And then when that happens, you can simply just respond, "Hello, this hey to anyone reading, this is a competitor that left a negative review because they're trying to just be that way." And once again, don't respond in a jackleg way. Don't be a
Sure.
jerk, but you
Sure.
just want to just state the facts. State the facts. Here's what happened, and let people do with it
I
as they
like that
wish.
you're not even really responding in that situation where you've escalated and then you've hit a wall and you're like, okay, this is what it is. That you would respond in a way that you're not even really addressing the person. You're addressing everyone who's going to be looking at the
Yep.
conversation. To be
Yep.
honest, and as long as, like you say, you're polite and you're respectful and you run it through Chat GPT, probably that's a lot more effective. I mean, honestly, because then that's very confident that, like, I'm not even talking to this person. I'm letting you know that I've never
Yeah.
done anything for this person. So as a consumer, I'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, okay, that's legit.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, just to let you know too, all consumer research points to like 4.7 to 4.8 being the most convincing star rating. I know as business owners, we want the perfect 5-star rating. I want the perfect
5.0.
five-star rating.
Yeah,
But there's plenty of people out there that see 5.0 and they think, what type of sorcery are they doing to make sure only good reviews come through here. So it makes it
yeah.
look a little bit more legit, it look more authentic, look more genuine because that one negative review can provide validity to all the other hundreds or 60 or 50 positive reviews you have because it shows, okay, well, negative reviews can slip through, I guess. So
I
these
like it.
must be legit.
Yeah. So going back to Establishing authority with Google, just a little bit more nuts and bolts. This has been amazing information, by the way. But you were talking about establishing the
Hmm.
authority through backlinks and citations, and obviously with reviews. But
Hmm.
talk a little bit about the backlinks and citations in a way that can help people in the beginning kind of understand, like, what does that mean? Like, what can I do?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So think about a citation as anywhere that your name, address, and phone number is listed on Google. So a lot of ways people get citations is through directories. So think about Yellow Pages, Yelp, your local chamber of commerce. These are all directory sites where these are websites that just have listings of businesses in their area or listings of businesses in your niche. So think about citations that way. And then think about backlinks as somebody linking back to your website, not in like a directory style where it's just like your business listing, right? So you are a poop scooping company, and let's say you reach out to a local landscaping company, and you put together a guest posts are probably the most common ways to get backlinks. But basically, you create a post, a blog post for their website that includes a little bit of information about your service, what you do, and provide some valuable content for their website. You say, hey, I created this blog post for you. Would you mind posting it on your website? And it can link back to my site, and you get a backlink. And so when you do that, you reach out to 100 local companies in your area. 95 of them are going to ignore you, and five of them will actually be like, yeah, sure, let's do it. And so then you have five backlinks. And then the one thing to note about both backlinks and citations is that we want to take into effect relevance. And so we want two types of relevance. We want location relevance and we want niche relevance. So, for example, with the backlinks, if you're reaching out to your local landscaping company that's also located near Orlando or wherever you are, then you're getting location relevance. This is showing Google where you're located, right? But if you're a poop scooping company and you get a backlink on, let's say, a big website all about poop scoopers, now you're getting niche relevance. Google knows that this big website is all about poop scooping and pet waste removal. And if you've got a backlink on it, that confirms to Google that, yeah, this is a poop scooping website that they own. And same goes for citations. If you are a plumber and there's a directory out there that has all the plumbers in the US, you want to be there because Google knows that everybody on this list is a plumber. And same thing with citations, like local chamber of commerce, like chamber of commerce will have directories, and Google knows that all these people in this chamber of commerce are located in Houston or Orlando or whatever. And so put your listing there so Google knows that you are there. And the thing about SEO is that SEO is a lot of golden BBs, and there's really no silver bullet. And so it's not one of these things that's going to make or break you. It's just the combination of just slowly accumulating all these things over time.
Clay, that information is just so good, man. Very, very great actionable items that you've given us. I mean, all the way from like beginners. I mean, we've only been in business for a little bit more than a year, and but we've been doing business for a long time. This is all great stuff, man. I really hope that people are going to watch this and are going to be taking the notes like I am, and they're going to be putting this, implementing this. But let me ask you a
Yeah.
question. So, what are you a reader? Do you read books?
Audiobooks, I listen to
No, that's
books,
okay.
but
Yeah,
yeah,
audiobooks.
audiobooks.
So,
Yeah.
what's an audiobook that has really the one audiobook that's transformed how you operate business? Yeah, just the one, man.
Hard. That's hard. Oh, that's so hard. But I'd have to go. It'd be easy to say an Alex Ramosi book, but I think the number one that like how do I want to run my business? That's kind of more broad. I would say The Go Giver. Have you heard of that book?
I have not.
Um,
No, The Go Giver.
The Go Giver. Yeah, let me feel the. I don't even know who wrote it, but I've listened to it a bunch of times.
Is it a
It's called The
nonfiction
Go
or is it a
Giver.
fiction?
It is. It's like it's nonfiction, but it's told in a story. I mean, it's about business, but it's told in like a story
Okay,
format, right? And so it's giving you the examples. It's by Bob Berg,
I see it.
um,
Yeah,
and it's incredible. I mean, it's basically just talking about your business is to serve others, and if you help other people solve problems, and you do it in an honorable way with integrity, then that will come back to you
I
eventually. And
love
just
that.
do it to do it and do things good. and and then everything else will work itself out.
I think that's great. Yeah, one book that sounds similar to that with regards to not necessarily your clients, but your employees, serving them first is a book called by Michael Kelly, The Dream Manager. And it's like this book,
Mm.
The Go-Giver, where it's a fictional scenario that's played out to show like maybe,
Yep.
an old perspective and then a perspective of where you want to be and how they interact with each other.
Mm.
And that's a great
Yeah.
way to get us to understand new concepts is to see it played out
Mm.
in a story. So that's
Yeah.
great. What a great book to suggest. I'm gonna put this on the list. Well,
There you
awesome.
go.
Well, Clay, thank you so much, man. Great having you
Yeah.
on the interview, and I'm looking forward to seeing you continue to help people in the poop industry, and I'm looking forward to seeing how your company Review Harvest flourishes in 2025, my friend.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me on, Adam.